Hey, welcome to Handyman Wednesday. It's kind of weird doing this in the afternoon than in the morning, but we missed it here this morning. I'm Don. This is Chris. I believe last week we spoke a little bit about pressure treated wood, as far as kiln dried versus what we consider to be wet wood. And so today we thought we'd go on a little bit further, and let's say we've got the board replaced on our deck. We had a rotted board on our deck. We bought a kiln dried piece of wood. We've got our deck cleaned off. We're ready to stain our deck. There's a lot of options as far as what to use. They have semi-transparent stains. They have semi-solid stains. They have solid stains. They have penetrating stains in the semi-transparent. Some of them are topical, aren't they?
Oh yeah, most of them are. So nowadays,
how do I know which gallon of stain to go buy when I go to the store? Which one I'm going to pick up? There's so many different options.
That's not an easy decision to make because there's probably thousands of variations, seriously, that you could buy. You could go to Sherwin-Williams and they've got 10 different varieties with sub-varieties, and same at Home Depot, same at Lowe's, same at stuff online and anywhere you go. So,
one quick point about Sherwin-Williams. The stain, when you go there to buy it, you get their stain made in any color that they make in paint.
That's nice.
You can get stain made. So that's something to kind of keep in mind.
Yeah. Some of the others you can do that with too. Like I know we like the Olympic stuff. They have their colors they sell it in, but they will mix a custom mix for you if you want it.
Now that's the solid stain that we use.
Yeah.
The Olympic solid.
But at the same time, I mean, I like Sherwin-Williams. I think you do too. As far as matching colors, if you want to color match, that's probably a place to go. But getting off topic. So the first question is, what did you have on the deck before? Or what did you do to the deck? So we replaced a board, right?
Yep.
So let's say before you had a transparent stain. Maybe it was floods or something. Semi-trans. So you've got just a little bit of pigment, but it's mostly transparent, see-through. You can see the grain and all the different stuff underneath. Well, now maybe that wood is 2 years old. Maybe it's 10 years old. Either way, that new board we know is going to be a lot brighter, no matter what you do. It just hasn't had the aging process over that couple of years. So if it is kiln dried, you can go ahead and put stain on it, but you want to make it match, right? And I think something we've found is even if you think, okay, I'll do the same thing again, put a semi-transparent over it, and it almost makes it worse. Like that pigment makes it pop. And if you've done more than one board, then now you have like a zebra looking
deck. You have a striped deck.
Yeah, and looks awful. So I know I like the transparent look, the natural look. Everybody does, I think. But sometimes we talk about the progression of decks. There's a natural kind of progression of what type of product you put on your deck to make it look as best as it can look. So you have that different color board. So now what do you do? Solid stain, right?
Solid stain.
Yeah, so we like solid stains because they make everything look uniform, even, like new again, you could say. Basically, they're an opaque stain. So sometimes, we get a lot of hesitation with, I don't want to paint a deck, which I get that, but they're a little different, aren't they?
Yeah, it is a little bit different. It's not the same as paint.
Yeah, it's made to be walked on, made for exterior.
Normally, paint isn't made to be walked on.
Yeah. So I find in applying it goes on a little different. Like it almost does. It's not a penetrating stain, but it almost does absorb to a point where paint, you get that glossy kind of real smooth finish. Even with a solid stain, you still get the texture
of the wood.
It looks like a piece of wood. An unfinished deck board. It's just all one color versus getting that variation in color. So to me, it doesn't look totally unnatural. And it looks better than having that stripy, mismatched look. It makes everything one color. So it can take a deck that's kind of really beat up looking and make it look fresh again.
Yeah. It does. I never liked solid stains on decks until I started really seeing them down here a lot and see us applying the solids. And and it really does make the deck. You can take an older deck that's been around a while and make it look a whole lot better. And people, they're not crazy about the idea, but the majority of people, when they do finally say, go ahead and put solid on it, and then they come out and they see it. They say, wow, this is nice. I like this.
I say that with all truthfulness, that I'm confident that you will like this.
Yeah.
Because it's a little scary to make that jump when you're used to that nice maybe cedar tone look or something.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're put in that scenario, you have no choice but to replace a deck board, or to move that way because of the fact that an old coating has started to fail it inconsistently. It's just the best possible result. It makes it look really good again.
So really, if your deck is blotchy, blotchy because of a deck board being replaced or because of stain here, off here, and stuff like that, and you put a semi-transparent over the top of that, you're going to see through it. You're going to see what's there.
And that's a twofold kind of thing. If you physically cannot put a penetrating oil, what we all think of as a stain, it soaks in. You physically cannot put that over the top of something that is a coating type stain. And I say coating meaning it sits on the surface.
Right.
So you might not realize it. There's a lot of claims made out there, but you go to your big box stores and you buy a semi-transparent stain, 99 times out of 100, it's a coating. It's probably even water-based, even though it's transparent and it looks nice and natural. So that sits on top, and so that doesn't even allow you to put a penetrating stain on it. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is, like you said, you'll see whatever's underneath.
So as we wrap this up, let's see. If you got a new deck and you clean it, it's nice to use a semi-transparent. But as the deck ages,
if it's unfinished altogether, or maybe it has a light enough truly transparent stain on it that can be washed off, then great, you can go with that. And quick side note, we like an oil-based penetrating stain like TWP is really great for the deck in preserving the wood.
But not just the looks, but it preserves.
Yeah, and it makes maintenance nice and easy because it doesn't peel or flake. It soaks in and it just fades. But so reapplication is great. But if you're to that point, which is what a lot of decks are, where the old coating is worn inconsistently, or the boards are different colors, or it's just really weathered looking, solid stains are great.
Yeah.
So
I hope this is helpful.
Yeah.
We could talk all day about decks, but
we could talk all day about stains. We could just talk all day, I think.
Probably. But if you have any questions about decks, or coming into summer, or anything else for that matter regarding home maintenance and something that you could have a handyman do for you, send us an email, give us a call. The office, it's 919-388-2204, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks a lot.